Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn, and I hope you're as fired up as I am about getting to see another batch of one-of-a-kind, unique items that, for the most part, like last week, you haven't seen a single item. All new items. And I tell you what, my inside scoop from my little birdies in inventory told me that that huge museum quality specimen has sold. Not sure who got it, but I am sure glad it went to one of the members of the family. I have to say, out of that Skolosite collection, that by far, there was two really, really high-end museum pieces, but that one was the largest, the most dynamic, the most aesthetic. I don't know. Each piece is beautiful in its own right, but if you're going for cabinet and you're going for size, that one took the cake. It sat in the middle of our dining room table, which of course, like, no one uses for many years. And then we moved it off into what we call, my son's bedroom, which of course he hadn't been there a long time, but it's like the pristine room, everything is in place and doors kept closed all the time, no dust. I did not have to dust that one off at all. Other than that, I think skolosites act like a air filter, straining the air, almost like in a coral reef, straining out the water of the little phytoplanktons as it passes through. Yeah, I'm an artist. So artists, we speak Bohemian, another language. Here's the thing. Crystals become electrostatically charged. They can be. And just like, you have those little ionizer air cleaners. I think Dave's got one going here right next to me. They have that one little filter. They're like silent, but they work. And all of a sudden, you take something and clean that filter off, and it's all that black comes off. Well, that's what's in the air. I think skolosites sometimes, and other crystal specimens, just draw that stuff to them. It's nice to have a steamer. It's nice to have a air compressor and other things to be able to clean these specimens back off when they need to be. Okay, so another great show. And we have, one second, comments, and we have a trivia winner. Let's get to those comments so we can get to the goods. Let me see. Oh. I always have to think, Memorial Day is the beginning of summer, Labor Day is the end of summer. Today? Yeah. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Happy Labor Day. Hope you have the day off. For me, Monday is actually one of the big work days. I won't even tell you, we've had a difficult week, but I'm tired of the negative, tired of talking about it, so we're going to skip that over for the moment. But I do want to say to Miss Penny that I actually have your work right here, and you made some of the best buys on those two silver rings. I looked at the prices, when I looked at the piece and then looked at the rings, it's like, wow, great value. So please excuse my tardiness in not having them sized yet, but I was trying to work around charging you at all. So if that's any benefit, normally, of course, at the price like that, for the sizing, there'd be a charge. But you know what? It's I can give you a million reasons why I don't have them done yet, but one of them was the delayed time that you were coming back and then it being shortened. Either way, I'm going to get them done for you. You're going to be able to probably get them next week. And I figured out a way that I can do it because it was going to be in the system as an automatic kind of charge. But anyway, all that aside, you're going to get them sized, and you stole them. When I saw the marcasites on that, and we showed marcasites and talked about marcasites. Marcasites, a lot of people think are, there's some costume jewelry stones. No, marcasites were an early diamond look-alike because marcasite is a polymorph of pyrite, and it looks very similar. And they would put simple 3 facets on them, and they flat bottoms, and they would put them in these silver mountings. They would just glimmer. Maybe when we have the shot later, I will show you her rings and tell you what she paid. But anyway, sorry about that, Penny. You know what? It'll be something extra you have to look forward to. I know you spent all that money in Greece, and I think you'll find you made the best buy on jewelry right here. All right, let's get to the comments here. All right, Miss Barbara, who also sent me a link to an huge anhydro picture. And then, Miss Barbara, I used to do comments on the morning of. So I actually get up at 4 a.m. to get ready to come here and shoot the show. So it's a long day for me, but I'm always so excited about it that the energy just keeps going on. So I don't do the comments until this morning in case any late comments come in. So in pulling them off and going through them, I get to see anything else you say. And Miss Barbara sent me a video link of pictures of specimens that were being shown in Tucson, and that someone had done kind of like a video clip. And Miss Barbara, you caused me a huge delay in my morning because all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I keep showing Raven, and we're both then glued to the pictures of these incredible specimens coming out of Pakistan. And then a collection of quartz. It was stunning. And, before I know it, I'd burned through 30 minutes of my morning. So 50 plus years later, and it's like I was new to the hobby with all that zeal and excitement. That flame has never burned brighter than it does now. Yeah, I just extend it, and now it's prospecting, getting out there. And I really need to get some health issues taken care of. So this winter, not any other, I don't know what it's going to take for me financially to be able to pull it off. But I don't want to wait really another year or any longer. My biggest item on my bucket list is to go to Arkansas. And you might think for quartz. If I was actually hunting for quartz, Georgia has some amazing different localities for quartz. And no, diamonds. I have bought and sold so many diamonds, just like I told you in Cowrie Valley when I was going to the ruby and sapphire mines as a teenager. After I first was there as an 11-year-old, I kept going back. I went back to different mines. I went back to the salted mines. I'd go back to the native stone mines. And I ended up learning quickly what the native Cowrie Valley rubies and sapphires and corundum looked like. And they looked like pebbles that to the normal person, it would wash right down the flume or be tossed over the side. And so once I really knew what they looked like, they just would jump out at me. And so I ended up at 13, 14, 15, there would be some mines you could actually walk from one to the other, and my uncle would drop me off in the valley there, and I could kill the day. And they put up with me for a little while because I would help the tourists spot the rubies and sapphires and show them what they look like, and would kind of guide them, for free, a little kid. And so they put up with me. And then I would go to the end of the flume line, and I started cherry picking All the stones that everybody, the tourists, just didn't see and went by, or were dumped out over on the other side. And again, it's, if you know how to spot them, they just jump out at you. They just jump out at you. Well, I got away with that for a little while. Season, 2 seasons, maybe by the 3rd season, they were really nice. They all seemed to say at the same time, so I think they got together and said, hey, you know, that little young kid been, you know, at your mind? And they asked kindly if I would stop doing what they do. And they go back and pick out the genuine rubies and sapphires. This is at the native stone mine. And what they find, they put back, unless it's something really nice, they put back into the bucket. So the buckets end up to be salted with the stones that were missed by other tourists. So they just keep recycling them. What I was doing was, I kind of interfered with that chain of custody by spotting them and getting them. So that's why I know exactly what diamonds look like. And I don't know, something in me tells me that, you know, a lot of people go many, many times and never will find a diamond. Never. Many times they'll go. To actually find a diamond is rare. I have this feeling I'm going to find it straight away. And I've actually studied the pipe, the area, and where the best chance out of the park is to look for them, etc., etc. So anyway, I don't know if I can pull it off, but that's my bucket list for this winter. It was going to be further down the road, but I think I better speed things up like that. Okay, so Barbara says, I think you will find, if you zoom in on the eroded areas. Now, she sent me a picture of a polymorph, of a pseudomorph that was, remember last week I had the Tanzanite specimen, which a lot of people, due to Tanzanite of Kunz, as in George Kunz, who describes Tanzanite as any type of mineral with other inclusions, acicular needles, like whether it's epidote or, you know, you have agates with those straight patterns of other minerals in them, and hence also we're given the name Tanzanite. That is not correct. So let me read. Barbara says that the squarish pattern is an artifact of the siderite crystal phase. So if you remember the pseudomorph, it had intersecting patterns in it, and I just kind of wondered how they got there or what they were from. The Tanzanite, true Tanzanite use of the term, which is Tanzanite of Saussure, which was another mineralogist, described it as only rutile intersecting at angles that created like a parallelogram or diamond shape, and that was called Tanzanite or Tanzanite of Saussure, and made a beautiful specimen, made a very rare specimen from right up the road, basically from here in North Carolina, Boiling Creek. All right, so she says, so I said, if any of you could research it, that'd be great. The Tanzanite intersects as triangles, not squares, so it is not dissolved rutile netting. Thanks for assigning this project. I will never forget. Tanzanite, siderite, or limonite. I know you get focused on these things, and then you get deeper and deeper in them, and you learn all about them doing that. Miss Cindy she also goes on to say that another dealer from Barcelona sold 2 old specimens from Shelby County, North Carolina. No prices listed. I would have loved to have known the prices they sold for. The one that I sold last week not only has the pseudomorph, but it has the Sagenite rutile. It also has muscovite mica, and look around it. There is a perfectly formed hexagonal green crystal of fuchsite, or fuchsite. It's a chromium muscovite mica. And also there's quartz. There's also rutilated quartz crystal. So the specimen was probably top quality for its location. And I probably gave it away by way of price. A true rarity. Miss Cindy in Pennsylvania. Hello, Rock Family. That was such an interesting variety of specimens this show. Absolutely wonderful items. Lots of note-taking. I won a Japanese iridescent rainbow, andronite garnet, or gyrag. She abbreviated each letter, as I use in my notes, so I do not have to write it all out. That's smart, actually, to do that, especially if you're taking notes, give it an abbreviation, because that is a mouthful. Japanese iridescent rainbow, andronite garnet. Absolutely. How lucky am I, she writes, because I have had regrets since last fall when I left a packet of 5 Japanese garnets for only $25 at a show I was at. Yes, Miss Cindy, you made a mistake. You should be dunce capped, especially one that you should have already known by last fall the value of those. Now, if they weren't great value, or still they had to be worth that, no matter what they were. I have wondered what made me lose my mind and leave them ever since. Thank you so much. So see how the magic of the show worked? She blew it by not buying that, but the power of karma and fairness comes through, and she gets to win one instead. A really nice one. Or I'm sure much nicer than those you got or would have gotten. Trivia. Okay, so the trivia questions were what, let's see, without me having to get out the other paper. The second question was, let's see, I think it was, who was it that wrote their answers like a question? Okay, as to the trivia, zeolites are the family. So I asked what family did the specimens belong to on the mineral specimen, and that answer would have been zeolites. And I also asked what caused the what element caused sphalerite to turn a darker, more metallic gray or black, and the answer to that is, excuse me, presence of iron. So in Miss Cindy answering the question, trivia, she got the zeolite family right, and iron in the sphalerite. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and a safe Labor Day to all. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Good job on that, Miss Cindy. Miss Gabby, back from Alaska. Greetings once again, Rock family and friends. Just returned from Alaska, and instead of first getting caught up on laundry bills, etc., I got caught up on gem collectors with Shawn. Now that's putting your priorities where they belong. A rock hound has her priorities. Yep. It was a beautiful trip. Weather was pleasantly cool most days and a little warm, meaning 70 degrees. Oh, how nice that would feel. On a couple of others, and clear. Very unusual according to the locals. On one of the excursions, we got to see part of the Klondike Gold Rush Trail. I told John I wish Shawn was sitting next to us. Oh, I wouldn't be sitting. I would be jumping up and down like a giddy little boy. We would get the real scoop on all this, LOL, and learn so much more. Oh, you want the start to finish verbal tour and event of the Klondike Gold Rush? I could tell it to you. Bless those, you know, when you see, it's almost like the line climbing Mount Everest, you know, where they have to wait behind each other. There's so many people trying to climb, which I think is so shameful. But anyway, when you have gold fever and you have all these dreams and you had to cross, I think it was Chillicoot Pass, and climb the mountain. The wealthier people had others that would carry your goods up. Other people didn't have the money. They had to carry their own items. Some people carried ridiculous things. One person had an entire steamship in parts carried up over the pass, reassembled on the lake, because one of the fastest ways was you get to the other side, you get to one end of the lake, would be to travel on the boat. And it worked. He put it together, ran it for a period of time. It was only recently discovered, the remnants of that small steamship. But I thought, wow, that is entrepreneurship. And I think about all the dreams that died along the way, because there is grave sites all along the way on the Klondike Gold Rush. And it's one of the largest, most recent gold rushes in our history. 1828 was the one right up the road in Dahlonega, and the first in Georgia, if you don't count the very small one in the 1790s. That was on the North Carolina, South Carolina border. They're still mining some gold over there, but that wasn't anything like the Georgia one. The Georgia one changed the Cherokee Nation took it away. The Klondike Gold Rush, 1896. That was late to find gold like they did. And some really struck it rich. Most only found their grave. But anyway, you can tell. I could tell some tales and the hardships. So you're right. You would get the real scoop. I was able to get the limonite after siderite specimen. Oh, so now we know Miss Gabby got that beauty. I did a little research, and it was said that that type of crisscross pattern formation, along with others, was common in that type of pseudomorph. No further explanation, though. Huh? It's the further explanation that I also am looking for. I didn't have any luck. So, ladies, maybe you have a little more time. I want to know what creates that, or why that happens. Even if it's common to that, there should be a geological, a chemical, I don't know, some kind of reason for it, because on that particular specimen, over any others that you might even get a picture of, it is very prominent. It's not even, some might be worn somewhat, but visible. These, it's kind of like in coin collecting, and wear on a coin is so important. Well, limonite is so soft and powdery and so easy to wear. That's why on that particular specimen, I only held it by the corners and not grabbing it anywhere else. Besides, there's so many other little rutile needles on there. You don't want to touch any of those. Miss Gabby, you are going to get that specimen out, and you are going to have the most fun looking into every little crook and cranny and discovering all these bisecting other crystals and that hidden little fuchsite crystal that's beautifully green, and to know that it's from not far from Charlotte. I have two brothers that happen to live in Charlotte, and it's just west of Charlotte. And if you go to that area, you don't think that there's a lot of geology there. But no, there's elevation, there's geology. And remember, the Appalachians used to look like the Rocky Mountains, used to be 10, 12,000 foot high, jagged peaks. 600 million years of erosion has turned them into those rounded hills that you see now. So, like the tallest mountain, let's just say, is around 6,000 feet. What happened to the other 6,000 feet above it? That is what has created the Piedmont Plains of the eastern slopes, and that is what has created some of the amazing farmland on the western slopes, the bluegrass of the Kentucky. All that land, all that soil had to go somewhere. So did all the minerals that were from 6,000 to 12,000 feet. What happened to all that stuff in there? That's what gets washed out alluvially. And that's why the Cowley Valley, they never found the mother lode. In other words, the original vein that produced those crystals that are mined from the gravels through the Cowley Valley. There's not really any hard rock tunnels, because you're digging in, you want to dig into the old strata, just like most of the Sri Lankan mines and a lot of the Burmese mines. They, if you see, they're bamboo supported hand dug shafts that go down 30, 40 feet that constantly have to be pumped out, because that's where the strata of gem producing gravel from the period of time when the erosion from the original veins washed that material. Now, since then, of course, more material washes into the valley and covers up that level, that layer of gem-bearing gravel. So over additional time, that layer of gem-bearing gravel that was at the surface becomes buried anywhere from 30 feet, you know. Other times, it may only be a few feet deep. But that's what you have to dig down to. All that other material is just gravel. And it's not until you hit the geologic layer, when the original veins were washed, eroded out over time into the valley, hence into where the river cut through them, and that's how they found some of the first ones. And once you find the first ones, then game is on. And the same thing with diamonds, when they find diamonds that way. So, same thing with gold, alluvial gold, when it gets washed into the creek. There's a mother lode it came from. There's an original vein it came from at some time in geologic history. And it's fun kind of tracing these things down. So, Miss Gabby, she says, can't wait to look at all the rutile up close and personal. That's what I just said. You're going to love it. You're going to love that piece. My trivia answer is iron and zeolites. Getting it right. Well, I guess it's time to take care of the laundry bills, etc., etc. Till next week. Hugs, Miss Gabby. Hugs back at you there, Miss Gabby. Okay, we have Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts. Hello, all. Another show where I wanted everything, such as the 2 48-point diamonds. I was able to get one of those beauties. Great job. Either one was, again, buying a quarter, more like for a nickel, less than a nickel. So I'm glad to see you took advantage of that. Wait till you loop and wait till you see the quality. You are going to be so thrilled, and then go and compare what you would normally have to pay for something like that. And then you're going to do the Shawn's earring dance, because listen to what he says next. It really was an outstanding show, from Dave's amazing camera work to the very informative lesson on diamonds, including the etiquette when admiring and scrutinizing diamonds on a lady's ears. Yes, you never get close enough to really be able to see them. You always look at them like that's their personal body space. You never take your hand and grab their pendant. You can nicely, gently grab their hand, bring it up to you so you can see it closer. That's a compliment to a woman, to look at their jewelry on their hand. That's not invading their personal space. The other items are. And when I would explain and sell items to the men and explain that they like that, and they also like the fact then quality doesn't have to be as good in pendants and earrings as on the hand, where someone can look at it at the distance that their vision is best at. The others, you should get slapped at if you moved within that distance. He goes on to say, I think Barbara mentioned the weather in the Northeast. It has been fall-like, very strange. Yeah, it's supposed to be down actually in the low 60s tonight here. That's nice. I have another request concerning quality control in the way of a dance to keep French clip earrings comfortably on the ear. I, for one, would love to see that. I know we won't get to see that, but I was thinking, how else would you test the clip? You got the boogie. That's something I would definitely do. That's why we love you, brother. You know, I was telling Raven that, and I have to test them. I have to test the earring pressure, and I have to test it under any kind of dance. So, in private, that's never been recorded or seen, I clip one of those earrings. You know, these are non-pierced, so with the French clip backs. So I have to test if they're pinching the ear and how tight they stay on. So I told her I do everything from the mosh pit dance, or whatever it's called, where you dance just straight up and down, right? To the rumba, to the spinning around. Yeah, I'm quite the scene. And then I shake my head like a dog, and with my big head of hair, it's probably what it looks like. And if I fling them off, then I know I need to tighten them a little more. The ones the other day that I showed last week, the Lapis, they passed the test. You know, the French clip backs alone, when I asked for those Lapis earrings, just the hardware, the backs to solder on, which is the clip and the rivet piece that it goes on, cost about $150 to $175 for the pair. And I think that's what I was asking for the entire earring. So, you know, if you were a goldsmith and just needed that, and that's cost, you'd be good to buy those just for the clips. So, yep, that is not anything anyone is going to get to see, but that's pretty funny that Mr. Anthony thought about that, because I do the dance. I definitely do it. And like Raven said, she goes, well, how else are you going to see how they are? So, yep. It kind of made me laugh when I thought how many times I've done the dance over all the years. Nice request, Anthony, but I'm not feeling it. Sorry about that, brother. But I love you anyway. Trivia, getting it right. Zeolite and the increased presence of iron causes Sphalerite to be opaque, metallic, and darker. Miss Barbara in Brooklyn says, hi, Professor, Raven, GSN crew, and the whole rock family. It was fun learning about the two Sagenites this week. I see that those rutile nets can get quite large, complicated, and expensive. And the siderite replacement was cool as well. Nothing like the sagenitic quartz that I was familiar with from other shopping networks. Go to the professor to learn something new. Yes. The other use of the word sagenite is wrong. Simple as that. Sagenite in its original meaning was only defined as a type of rutile that intersected at particular angles. But that was Sagenite of Saussure, who was first. Later, Sagenite of Kunz created it where it was also included what is more seen today with acicular needles in any kind of material. And the needles could be any kind of material, doesn't have to be rutile. So that kind of broadened the whole meaning. So to have a specimen that has that represents the original meaning, that is something rare and special. And something that now only those of you watching me really know. Really know. So if a conversation comes up about sagenite, you can say and be correct when you say, oh, well, that's not really the original meaning of sagenite. Sagenite used to apply only to rutile. You know what? 9 out of 10 won't know what you're talking about. They'll think, what, rutile? No. If they look it up, which you'll be glad to help them with, they will see that you were right and they were wrong. And now they have to sing a song. That's what I always used to tell my son. Okay, she goes on to say, hope you enjoyed the anhydro video. I did. There are a whole bunch of them on YouTube you can watch for free. Yeah, I know. I get to watching them and I can't stop. As to the trivia, zeolites are the family of sphalerite with high iron content, gets dark, opaque, and metallic. I wonder how many of you know what the name for dark, opaque, and metallic sphalerite is called. Any of you? Marmortite. Not something usually used and not something I'm going to add to your vocabulary, as long as you know how to, that sphalerite covers all different colors and gem quality. Very soft to cut though, not recommended for ring wearing, but can be worn as a pendant. Has a very high refractive index, has a very high dispersion. Beautiful stuff. And I'm going to ask, because I don't remember if I even knew. So wait, hold on a minute. Okay, so high iron content gets dark, opaque, and metallic. She says nothing like the warm amber Spanish material that Igor Gavrilenko facets so beautifully. Yep, it's hard stuff to cut, kind of like rhodochrosite. I had a green sphalerite specimen. I showed it here so many times that I almost wasn't going to offer it anymore. It is from Peru. I think it eventually sold. I don't know why I sold it at all, because it was nothing but green sphalerites. If any of you want to come out and tell me who got that, I'd like to know, because I want it back. I do. No, you got a great deal. Green sphalerite is really rare, and it is caused by the presence of cobalt, which cobalt isn't often an element that is used for, that you hear about for coloration. Happy Labor Day. Hope the hurricane left you alone. Fall is less than a month away. Well, you know, fall for some people is less than a month away, but here in Georgia, fall is about Thanksgiving. Yeah, we're ready for it now, the real deal, not just the date. By the way, Greek, the word sphaleros is a Greek word meaning treacherous. You know why? It is when sphalerite gets that dark metallic look, they would mine it and try to smelt it and try to get lead out of it, and when they did it, it would mess up their flux, it would mess up the melt, and there'd be no lead in it. So hence it was treacherous, because it looked like galena. Now you're saying, but galena is shiny and bright. No, not always. Galena is often dark and not very shiny at all when it oxidizes. So the surface of galena can be really dark. I was looking at a specimen a while back, and I was trying to determine what a crystal was. So I just took a little tiny sharp point I used and just nicked the very surface of it. And first, I could scratch it real easy. Secondly, the surface was just an oxidation, and underneath it was that bright, shiny galena. And that's how I knew instantly then it was galena. And so I could see how they would be confused in the old days. So, indeed. Charles in Oregon. Mr. Charles says, ciao, fellow rockhounds. I didn't make time to take notes and play trivia this week, but wanted to write in and say hello, which is perfectly okay to all of you. And we miss you out there, Miss Peggy. I wish you'd write in and say, hey, I'm sure trivia envy will force me to participate this week. I am super excited to cut a pair of matching yellow-green sapphire cabochones from that rough you showed on 821. I would want to see how they cut when they're done, and see if any of them have any chatoyancy or anything cool like that. We also got the red rutilated quartz crystal from last week. Always wanted a nice rutilated quartz specimen. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a great one. And since you have the equipment, there are on the edges, some of the edges have some little nicks. So if you wanted to, you could easily clean those up with your lapidary equipment. My left wrist, remember Charles is the one who, true trooper, fell in the creek, stopping himself with his wrist, hurting it badly as he went prospecting for agates and jaspers. My left wrist is healing from the fall I took up the creek while rock hounding. I have to wear a brace for 4 weeks. The novelty of the injury has faded and I'm ready for normal function to return. I do not recommend punching rocks. It won't end well. It is much safer to love them. Have a wonderful week, everyone. With love, Charles. Charles, we love you back, and we hope you continue to heal quickly, fully, completely, and are able to get back out there and prospect some more. I love the thought that you did that. Oregon actually has some great jaspers and agates. Okay, so that takes care of it. And this week we have a winner. And let's show Miss Gabby what you have won. Check this out. Now, Miss Gabby, I know you have great taste, so if you want to gift this forward, you can. But look at that. Okay, so Miss Gabby, I know that we owe you a job. I have the job even, and I need to contact Andrew, and have been needing to, but there's been other situations regarding that, so I haven't exactly done it. But I'm going to press forward and see if if he's available now. But anyway, sterling silver. This is a gorgeous little amethyst crystal, and look at that kyanite crystal. Just nice and simple, and says a lot in simplicity. I think it's just a pretty neat pendant piece to win. And the metaphysical part of the kyanite and the amethyst, good stuff right there. Good stuff. And kyanite, of course, a polymorph of andalusite and sillimanite. And this quartz, and looking inside that little crystal, I actually had a good bit of fun. Not bad. I think for free. You may not even gift it forward. You may actually wear it yourself to a rock show. All right, let me put this up and I'll be back to start the show. I am coming out with a bang, and I am talking about, now I know some of you have bought some recent fire agates from me, but you know, when you see one like this, I have to say it far excels any of the others I have ever sold. This is the finest one, and I thought I'd get your attention for this show by starting out with this. This, not only from the perfect cut, I also upped the polish myself. This is still from that same estate batch, except I upped the polish, diamond 100,000 mesh, and it has the most valuable color, and lots of it. The most valuable colors in fire agate are blues and purples. Look at that polish. It is flawless. It is seamless. There are no pock marks. There are no fracture lines going through it. Okay, I named this as as I was looking at it, and I gave it a name a number of years ago. This has been my prize fire agate by far. I called it my landscape agate because of the way it is divided off, which is a very desirable pattern. Each, look at the polish, okay, for one, look at that glass mirror polish that can only be achieved with extremely fine high mesh diamond compound. Okay, in each of these little segments, you're going to see a different scene. And remember, fire agate coming from the desert. So look at this. I wish I had 3 hands, because here is one. You can see this is where the sun is rising. This is a morning landscape scene. In this one, right over here, you have a thunderstorm scene. Look, let me get my pointer. Look at the clouds billowing up in the form of the botryoidal pattern with the blues and the purples, just like the dark thunderstorms hold. And as you turn it, comes crashing lightning out to the surface of the floor. And then wait, did you see that? Did you see the rain in the form of the green as you turn this? The rain coming out, look at that. And there's the red sand of the desert. Now tell me that doesn't look like a thunderstorm. Now if it's out west, in about the 1950s, it might have been a nuclear test, but that's not what this is about. This is about landscape scenes. And you know, I can't tell you how rare an agate this is, not only for the most prevalent color being the rarest color, but for the incredible polish and these segmented scenarios. Everyone is different. Now, you see these two right back here? It looks like they don't have any play of color going on in them. Well, let's just see. Oh, look at that. Tilt it back a little, and what do you find? And that's what you want. That's what you want. Just like an opal. You want something to be displayed at every different angle and time. Okay, look at that. Look at that as the colors wrapping around. And look at the blues. More blue and more purple in these areas. Look at that. So what looked like look at that. There's a money shot for you. Wow. So see how we just looked at it a moment ago? You didn't think anything that was there. That's just a dead section, no color. Right. Look at that. That is the most valuable color it has. Okay, let's turn this around. Let's see what we have here. Okay, now these scenes take on a whole different look when viewed from a different angle. You see a rainbow going across them. And then look into these sections, and this gem. All right, there we go. Now, this doesn't even have to be turned at that obtuse of an angle. And all of a sudden, this is what I wanted to show you. Look at that. Now, that's twilight. That's the remaining night sky. And as you turn it, it fades away. This corner, look at this corner. I am telling you what, it's kind of looking at clouds. You can make up your own imagination for each scene. But I know when I was looking at, okay, this is my, now remember it's out west. This has a tornadic kind of effect. Look at that twister type of effect. And as you turn it, I'm telling you, it looks like it does exactly that, like it is in motion. By the way, Have I told you? And have you noticed the polish on this? Okay, now, fire agate in qualities like this are almost non-existent to even find anymore. I don't know. I haven't been out to Slaughter Mountain. This is that same estate. I got this years ago. The history behind this goes back to the 70s. Material like this is almost impossible to find, even in the dealer, even with the dealers that carry this, because of the quality. Let's look at something else. Most of the time it's cut for the top, and look at the perfect dome. This is an oversized dome for a cabochon. It's like almost perfect relative dimensions. In other words, height and everything just is really nice. Look at that. It does. That's almost a perfectly centered. You know, fire agate is chalcedony, which is a form of cryptocrystalline quartz, you know, and so it can be all colors. Limonite, since we've been talking about limonite recently, is what gives it its color, and it is diffraction of light through those layers that, also creates that diffraction of light. Now, look at the back. Look at the back. Normally, it's a one-sided deal. The back, now, this is a little bit more of a classic look to a common fire agates that you might see, except this would be beyond common because it has those intense colors. They're not shy, they're very vivid. And then look at the stacked pattern that you see. And let me see if I can, I'm trying to keep my smashed thumbnail out of the shot because I am a working man and things like that happen when you're running lapidary equipment and dealing with rocks. Okay, so look at this stacked pattern, a whole nother pattern that you may not have ever even seen, but maybe you're not even familiar with fire agate. Just like opal. Okay, they've named every kind of pattern of opal and play of color and books written about it. Well, that's not the same to say about fire agate. There has not been that much. Most of what I know is from working with the material firsthand, having finished goods, having cut goods, having had rough goods, and I can tell you this pattern right there. To me, it's like a stack of pancakes. And that's different. That's different. So you have a double-sided fire agate, and with a, it's called omnidirectional. Now, opals can have an issue with play of color. Oftentimes, the play of color in an opal is unidirectional. In other words, straight on. You have to look at it straight on. Any other angle, you may lose that fire or color. Now, if it, whether it's an opal or any other display of color in a cabochon, if you can turn it and the colors are either still there or other colors come out, then it's omnidirectional, meaning every different direction. And that's what you have here. Look at that. Look at that. So there is no areas of this, boom, that do not have a display of beautiful, classic colors that you would want in your fire agate. So like I said, all the different landscapes, the most valuable colors, and plenty of them, omnidirectional, front and back for viewing. And one of the highest polishes I've ever seen on fire agate that I myself did. Yep. I had to, I just had to add, because I knew it was of the quality that, and the fact that it wasn't a porous agate, you know, even, and when I talk about porous, I'm talking about a lot of times you can have tiny, small little pits on the surface of a cab that you don't really see unless you're under high magnification. But what it does is it doesn't allow you to bring a full glass mirror polish up. But this, with the density and the cryptocrystalline crystals all stacked close together, there's no other imperfections in it. I knew it could come all the way up with 100,000, and I did. Beautiful stone, beautiful stone. And relative to the value on something like this, I have a spectacular price. I'll tell you what, let's put it in the suspension case that it's going to come with, and that way you can see it while I get the info out on that. Okay, now, oh, here we go. This is my finest personal gem I have of this material. So there's not ever going to be a better one than that. We talked about, y'all joked about that, I think Brad got one that was better than what maybe Barbara had or whatnot. But this tops everybody's, and it is the finest that you could really hope for in a fire agate. As I just explained, because I know fire agate like I know opal, and it's one of those stones because it's so similar to opal. There's no two that ever look alike. So I'm quite familiar with it. Price, only $248. Only $248 when you look at 10.45 carat. So what? Less than $25 a carat for a double-sided gem. And you know what the other nice thing about this is? If you're going to do it as a price per carat, with a double-sided fire agate, you have perfect proportions in this particular stone. It's not too thin, which they can be. It's not too thick, which they most often are. In other words, you'd be paying for weight in a high dome thickness, and by the way, a higher the dome, the less play of color that you're going to be able to view at any one time. You know why? You can't see the other side. You can't see the other side. So in a stone cut with this level, surface level, and that perfect shaping allows you to view all the colors in any direction, rotationally and or straight down on it. So it really has, for the 10.45 carat, that's the other thing, you're over 10 carats. That's always kind of a neat magic mark. There is no wasted weight. You're getting your full value per carat. So again, this is it. There's not going to be another one that yeah. So you know, I am going to show you, and I kid you not, you know, call it whatever you will, this is 50 plus years of collecting. And like I said, most of the time, I don't even know what I end up having in things. That's why they end up to be so such a good value. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure who got it, but that large, incredible specimen sold. That museum quality scolecite sold. So I was happy to see someone taking advantage of the price on that, which was a small fraction compared to what a market would be if you could even find one. And I looked, there is not any even comparable across the high-end mineral dealers. They don't have anything like it. Nothing like it. Okay, let's look. I'm going to show you where I found this stone. So like I said, in our collections, and having moved a couple of times, things get moved around. And sometimes when they get moved around, they don't get looked back into or opened up for many years later. I decided, you know, I used to collect boxes, and I still do, and, you know, that amazing Udilite box that I sold a number of years ago was one of the finest, most unique, beautiful boxes I had ever seen. Well, for the money, wait till you see what I'm getting ready to show you. And that fire agate was inside this box. Let's look at item number 1132523. And just hold the description for one moment while I get the bang for the buck out of this. Okay, so I was thrilled when I was rooting around, and lo and behold, I totally remember this. I just, you know, we just set stuff in somewhere, and then it's great when it's rediscovered years later. Look at what that agate was in. How would you like a Boulder opal box? I kid you not. Look at that. That's even some Koroite pattern right there. Mother of pearl inlay. Look at this. Look at this. Now, of course, you know, if you use too expensive a Boulder opal, it would be a small fortune for a box, and that would be a limited market. This is the perfect amount. Look at that. That looks like a river. And, hold on, let me get my pointer. Almost look at this owl looking. And you know, of course, owl is an important totem animal to me. So there's a neat view there. This looks like, look at this, looks like a hawk, a bird of prey. And with the eye right there of opal. Oh, wow. Okay, so Koroite opal is an opal that often has this type of pattern to it. So I would imagine that this probably comes from somewhere in that area. You have a black onyx frame and box. This is incredibly done. A little bit of opal there. Oh, look at that. You see that? You know you're talking some Boulder opal. How beautiful. And look at this on the surface, okay? So you can see. Oh, look at the fire in there. Look at the fire. The bottom, solid black onyx. This was a treasure, is a treasure, and I found that fire agate in it. So, you know what? That's why I say I don't ever know exactly what I have, when I am going to find it, but it's certainly kind of fun when it happens. Okay, listen to this. Okay, hear that? That is a magnetic lid. Let me show you. It's so strong that, actually, let me do this. Let me put a little light on the subject. It's so strong, the magnet. Look at that. I can't even shake it off. But it's easy to be picked up. So there you go. You can see the magnets right there and there. Here's the interior. All nicely done. And so well, you always know how to line it up. And that's just it. Just like when I set a stone in a mounting. It is for I set it so exacting to the shape of the stone. And I'm talking about a round. If it's even slightly out of round, you know, I adjust the prongs and set it that way. Any other way, it won't fit as right. That's why oftentimes if you take a stone out and go to put it back in, it never quite goes back in as well as you set it the first time. That's just the way it is. So, just a little note of information. These lids are made to fit a particular direction better than another. Now let me just see if that holds true. Maybe this is made. Yeah, see, that's wild. You know what? So they used opposing magnets. It won't even go on that way. So with the mother of pearl inlays, it tells you exactly how it's lined up, and it's supposed to line up due to the positive, negative polarity of the magnets. Look at that. All right, only have one. Only going to have one. And what a treasure that one is for someone And then, you know what? I guess I thought that in that type of box belonged something really fine like that fire agate. Wait, though. Fire agate wasn't the only thing in that box. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wait till you see. Okay, so, you know, I don't know. How many Boulder? 1, 2, 3, 4 Boulder, 5 Boulder opals, all that. It's not even one of those smaller boxes like the malachite. This is actually a pretty good size box on, here. So, I tell you what, there won't be another, but I'm going to let this one go. It would be a great, great item to have on your desk, in your bathroom. There's so many different uses for your own enjoyment. So let's do this. Let's just think if each of these was, you know, would that be worth $30? Would that be worth $50? $100? Easily probably in the $100 range. Let's do it. Let's just break things down like that so it's easy to figure out value. Price on this is only $188. There's 5 different stones around there. So you're looking at what, 35 dollars, $36, $37 a stone, not counting the entire box and the inlay work and everything else done with it. So that's how I figure when I am buying. And see a price like that on something like this, I think, okay, where's the value? So I start and make it simple for myself. Look at how large these are. I know I have had pendants just like this. I sold at least 40 or 50 on my live show and in this show a number of years ago. And most of them were selling for $70, $80 each. So, you know, there's 5 of them around here, some better quality than others. And again, the math on that comes out to $37 a stone. $37 a stone, not counting the other work, the black onyx, and the fact that, that it's made into a box. So, no, $188. It should be more than that. $188. What an excellent value. And yeah, so that's how you can look at it. And again, there won't be another one. That was a really fun item to find. You want to see another item? You want to see another item I found in that box? I know you do. I know I did, and I know why I had kept it. So those of you that have been following me for any length of time know that from long ago I actually had a extensive collection of unusual optical quality gemstones. In other words, they had different optical properties, whether they were cat's eyes, stars, moonstones, these kind of stones. So, and you know, you don't realize it's like cat's eyes of a lot of other items that you don't normally see. Let's look at item 1132923. 1132923. What I'm getting ready to show you is one of those items you don't often see as a cat's eye, not this color, and that's why I had set it aside. Let me clean this off real quick here. And had it also in that magic box. And what I am getting ready to show you, yep, a green cat's eye apatite. I kid you not. Now, I really thought this was a cat's eye emerald. It was everything I could do to talk myself into the fact of it not being an emerald. And you know how I finally really able to make that decision was Any idea? What would be the easiest way? So I checked it with a Chelsea filter, but that didn't tell me much. Oh, we don't have that other light on, Dave, that we normally don't have. That one? I knew there was something.
Turn one of them off.
Yeah, and turn one of those. What finally really told me the difference of how to tell, and it was the simplest way to do it, and I could do it with nothing else but what you're looking at right now. And you know what that is? Tweezers. The tweezers. Hardness test. A hardness test. Apatite, remember, on the Mohs scale of hardness, is a hardness of 5. Most hardened stainless steel tweezers, most hardened, there we go, that's what I was wanting right there. So you guys read my mind. Most hardened stainless steel tweezers are a hardness of around 5.5 to 6. We know from the Mohs scale, apatite happens to be number 5 on that Mohs scale of hardness. And so between a hardness of 5 and emerald, which is a beryl, which is going to be in the range of, look at that cat's eye, 7 to 7.5, there is such a huge difference that these tweezers did scratch the apatite. And as a test, I always test something that I think it could be or not. So in other words, I tested another barrel to see if the tweezers scratched it as well, and of course they did not. So that told me right then, and the inclusions going in the direction that they were gave me all the information I needed. Unless it's something real exotic that got past me. It actually has some nice translucency and transparency. You know, there wasn't any place that I could see to price a green cat's eye apatite. They have a lot of those honey color ones from Kenya. But any this green, even though it is a color that apatite can fall in the facet range, I just hadn't seen anything ever in a cat's eye. It could probably use a little buffing on top if one of you cutters get it, but okay, carat 60. How about taking advantage of that one for, well, it sounds like $24 to me. Only $24, thank you, sir. And you can have one of a kind. One of a kind. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to put a couple things away in front of me and I'll be right back. You know, I was just talking to Asif about this piece, and we said all agreed the same thing. This is cool as can be, and it has a modern look, yet it also has a tribal look. It is completely adjustable. You have genuine high quality Lapis, Afghanistan material that is freeform cut, as you can see, and beautifully polished. It has a shepherd's hook for a catch, so you can adjust it and have it fall wherever you may. You have a ring here where you can actually remove this pendant and relocate it, or if you remove it, then you can just have a lapis drop necklace. But this, it goes all the way around. You have a total length of 24 inches when you maximize the length. And, you know, vermeil is the thickest coating of gold that is applied to silver. We were just discussing this. You'll see in some rings where it has HGE, that means heavy gold electroplate, or other ones will be like 18 GP, which means gold plate. That's the thinnest. And he said that they have like a designation, and it means water. In other words, the thickness of the gold is only as thick as if you dipped it in water, and you know water, how it runs off. So it was kind of neat to see designations in another country of how they grade things for the different thicknesses. And so this is beautiful, actually. And I thought that there might be a designer name even to it, but there wasn't. And with the shepherd's hook, it is something that, well, you know, the Raven wanted it, but I said, you just can't have everything. And of course, her answer would be something along the lines of, why not? Oh, so anyway, what a great piece. You can wear it with that in the back and just that in the front. You can wear it so that's just hanging on the side like that. That is really cool. You can hang other things off of it besides that particular item. The ring opens and closes, so you can even put other items on there other than what's there. But the geometric shape of that particular piece goes really well with the necklace. You know, I bet this was really expensive, especially with the carved lapis. Those take time, and they've got a really nice high polish. So, you know, for that reason, no matter where it's done, it's going to affect the price. But from Shawn, well, now there's the way to buy it. There's the deal. This one with all the trimmings that you see. How about this? I don't even know. Let's see. Okay, there we go. There's the way. See how I don't even know? I just kind of make it up sometimes. And as long as I make it up inexpensive, and look at that. Okay, $68. That's got to be inexpensive. $68. And many times, like right here, right? Oh, let's see. Yeah. Okay. I just found what it came out of, and I priced it less than what I was supposed to, but that's okay. That is okay. That piece is neat for a lot of reasons. You could actually just use all the links for other projects for those of you that do metalsmithing, and use those polished lapis pieces for other creative things if you wanted to break it down that way. Okay, let's see. We have so much to do. Okay, I have a really, really, really exciting mineral specimen, and this is a true jewel. Okay, so don't bring up the description yet, also, but item number is going to be 1132623. 1132623. So let me show them first, because you know me and being a little bit dramatic. All right, I want to show you exactly what I go through sometimes to bring you these items. So this is what is holding the specimen. Now, did it come with it? No. When I get different items in the household, whatnot, I always look at them as, is that something that can hold a specimen safely? Because I always have things that need to be held safely. Like the scolicites. Well, this one is somewhat similar. Okay, so for those of you in the know, let's just have a moment's worth of fun. See if you can, and then let me know in the comments if you figured out what the specimen is. Okay, the specimen that I'm getting ready to show you is from the Potosi mine in Chihuahua, Mexico. And that mine is known for some of the finest in the world of what you're getting ready to see. So there's your simple clues. Now, because of the way you see it, I thought this was a perfect way to protect it. Now, I had packing around it. Ready, set, let me show you why this was perfect for it. Look at this specimen. Look at this specimen. All right, we can pull the graphics up. If you said Hemimorphite, you got it right. Look at this. This is stunning. So you see how that height-wise was just perfect? So I had a paper towel wrapped around it, and then over the top of this, I had bubble wrap. And that really did very well to keep it safe. Other than that, I mean, we just have these things out and displayed, and they're always, none have ever fallen off any shelf in our home ever, and broken ever. And that's a lot of specimens through a lot of different situations, and just hasn't happened. Look at this as I turn this. Now, I get the, I can go figure back to the 1980s by dating this piece. I know it's at least that old, is what I'm trying to say. So I know it goes back to that time period. Look at that. Look at that. I love when specimens have intersecting crystals where they're not all going in the same direction. Now, Dave, take us in a little closer and look at that. Those are so brilliant, it almost looks like acicular needles of diamonds. Look at that as I turn that, reflecting. That is a marvel. The Potosi mine is known for producing some of the finest hemimorphites in the world. It's been mined for a long time. There's a lot of different levels. Okay, here's something fun for those of you that want to do a little research right here and right here. Now, if I touch those white areas, they're very powdery, but they have a fibrous nature to them going in one direction. Now, Dave, can we get any closer on that? And they're perfect. What you have, yeah, Dave. Look at that. Okay, so you have something that has degraded or has absorbed water or released water to the point where it's a powder. So I wondered if it was an anhydrite, which anhydrite is a calcium sulfate without water, whereas gypsum is a calcium sulfate with water. And I'm just not sure whether it's actually either one of those. So that is always something fun to do, a little research. I really didn't have the time to fully devote to that. Now, this area, look at these little yellow formations. Those are interesting in themselves, and let's just see if we can't look a little closer at those. Oh, that works out well. That works out even better. Look at that. Look at that. That works out really well. Those are definitely another mineral that is probably something associated, thank you, sir, with the mine and could easily be figured out as to what it is. All right, look at that. Look at that. That is a, it's bigger than a thumbnail specimen. It's actually in a really nice range of sizes. And so I can put this down and it's, you can see, you can actually display it like that if you wanted, or I think there is a magnificent display. Ah, look at the focus on that. Beautiful. Just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful specimen of Hemimorphite. And something that would really add to your collection. So, Santa Eulalia, the Potosi mine, 1980s or earlier, a real classic, and because of the aesthetics to it, that would add a lot of value. If you actually look through Mindat, the problem with Hemimorphite is often you get these bigger, bulkier crystals without a lot of definition and without a lot of aesthetics. And yeah, they might be nice for size, but for looks, I'd much rather have a smaller one like this than a bigger one with bulky crystals. Just look at some of them and you'll see just how much finer a specimen like this is, and hence, you know, priced accordingly. But I'll let this jewel go for only $118. Only $118 on that guy. And I tell you what, you'd be hard pressed to find a better value, especially for the size and the aesthetics of it. That counts for everything. That counts for everything. All right, now, lots more to show you. Oh, I have something I have not offered in a long time. And guess what? This was in the box also. This was in the box also. So, you know, remember not long ago, I stumbled across, that limonite piece that sold, and that was the Pseudomorph. And that was a kind of a neat find. Look at what's next. I have item 1132423. 1132423. And you have not seen me feature anything quite like this. Look at that. Look at that. That is stunning. That I don't know, is a sunrise, a sunset. You have the little bit of hematite at the bottom, which the rutile needles always usually radiate out from. There is the front or back, depending on which way you want to look at it. Look at that, a cushion cut. One of my favorite shapes, whether faceted or cabochon. And you can see the size of that and how reflective those golden needles are. Titanium dioxide. That's all rutile is. It has a couple of polymorphs. Brookite, one of them. Okay, only have one of these. 18.74 carats. And you don't even have to set that. All you have to do is display it. Put it in a stand or in a tube and just set it in a cabinet or wherever you have some other items that you enjoy. I am pricing that at a excellent value. This material has really gone up in price over the years, really gone up. $58 on that. Designers are using it, $58. Designers, I saw a piece just recently designed around a rutilated quartz, and it wasn't even one of the starburst ones, which go for a huge amount of money. I remember I sold some starburst rutilated quartz pieces. They were, some of them were a couple inches long with that, you know, incredible 6-ray star coming from them. And the cheap, some of the most inexpensive ones started at $1,200 for a cap. Oh yeah, $1,200. You know, big money. And I gotta say, there was it because of the look for it. Beautiful stone. All right, let me show one more, and then I got to put away a few things. Here is keeping it mixed up. 113, 1623. 113, 1623. Here's a fun piece. I just couldn't break it down for the stones, take them out and stuff. So it was just too good of a deal. Look at that. And you know what? It really does. They're quite clever. Look like they have diamonds going around them. Now, I guess I'm going to be a little snobbish, which I really have never been, but our network compared to any other network, put them all together, it doesn't matter. By far, and not without even a close second, there is no other network that shows the level and quality and uniqueness and rarity of gemstones and jewelry like Gem Shopping. Gem Shopping Network has, hands down, the most incredible pieces you will ever see. I sit there and watch some of the other shows that I like that have some of the rare stones, and my jaw just drops when I'm looking at things that should and could be in a museum. So some people, some of the vendors here have amazing connections and amazing manufacturers. So great shows to enjoy, but if you want something that's a little less expensive, that looks like it came from another network, it's probably because it did. But it wound up here at Shawn's desk for an amazing opportunity, way less than it would have been anywhere else. Look at that. So there's a carat total weight in those Tanzanites. They're all cut pretty bright and brilliant. And here's the deal, $28. I kid you not, $28. So you can run one of the leather cords through whichever end, there we go, well, wherever you want, either end, I guess that end, bail, yeah, 28 bucks, a carat of Tanzanites and the mounting, wow. Okay, I have enough out now. I need to take a minute and put it up. I have found that a lot of you have really caught on to the fact that the diamonds I'm selling are such a bargain. I'm going to offer some more. I mean, I have a nice collection of Millie diamonds that I can offer at prices so discounted from what even the people in the trade would have to pay. Okay. Suspension box. That's not a suspension box. I guess I was going to include a suspension box. I'll get it. Yeah, here we go. I'll get a suspension box. Yeah. So I'll include one. I actually will include one. Look at this. Not even opened up. Wrapped just like that. So I'm going to include that in the deal. Okay. I'm not going to take these out. That's going to take time. And I have a lot more I want to show you. 14 stone parcel. All exactly 2.5 millimeters. They came out of the same piece of jewelry. They match incredibly well. Let's see. I think I have the, look at that. HI color, full cut diamonds. Now, here's the thing. Full cut and single cut. You need to know that. So I won't have to repeat it in the future. A full cut diamond means it has just as many faces, facets, as a large regular diamond, which is 56 plus the table makes it 57 facets. So a full cut. Now, single cut, that's the way the other cut is, often used for small diamonds, like for watches and whatnot. There'll be 8 what we call mains, 8 main facets on the pavilion, 8 main facets on the crown and the table, making 17. So you have 40 more facets on a full cut diamond. Needless to say, they are more brilliant. When they're small, less number of facets, because they give a bigger reflection, often give you a brighter, more brilliant stone. It's not always the number of facets, it's the number of facets correlating to the size of the stone. All right. Look at the carat weight, 103 total weight, SI to I. There's only a couple I's. I meaning you can see the inclusion technically with your naked eye. Now, in this size stone, technically you really can't, but you blow it up in size relative to the piece when you look at it, and then you grade it that way. All right, look at those. Very well matched. I am going to ask a price ridiculous for a 103. That's over a carat 14 stones. That means you're going to average around 7 points each. That's the right weight for the diameter, so they're well cut goods. Here we go. The entire parcel, only $128. $128 on that. Now, let's get to some others. Oh, yeah. So let me make sure you get a suspension box. This one, it is item 113-1823. 113-1823. This is another opportunity. Even if you don't need them right now, you will. You should just buy quarters for nickels all the time. Look at those. Aren't those beautiful? So this is in a suspension box. Look at that when they're like that. So if you did nothing else but leave them in the box, you know what you do, and they do this even at the show, so they must have their girls that have time on their hands. They make little designs or names of the business and stuff with the stones and things like that, and it's kind of catches your attention. I didn't have time to do that. But look at that, even that small and thin, these suspension boxes are so clever. Look at the back, you can see them. Look at how well matched these are. They actually range from 1.8 millimeters to 2 millimeters. To be great for channel setting if you needed. Any others, that's one of the most popular size range is used in diamonds. Now, color and clarity and quality, carat 30 total weight. VS to SI, really clean stones. 36 in there, H to I in color. So there's a large quantity. Look how brilliant. A really nice opportunity. Wow. Carat, let's see, carat 30. Carat 30. And let me spin that around so you can see the front of that. And let me look. And okay, so wow. That's a lot of stones. I am just making sure. Let's see. So they should be 3. Okay, now your price opportunity on that. Let me see what I have. I think the weight on that, I have that one, and then let me see this parcel. Yeah, okay, so awesome. If you could change the total weight on that to
There's a lot, there's 4 different ones.
right.
Just check the item number, make sure it's correct.
Yep. So right. Yep. 113-1823. That might be part of the issue.
113-1823.
Yep. 113-1823. So
1.30.
yeah. Care.
6 stones.
Yeah. You have. Yeah. If you could change to 60, thank you.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. All right, price on this guy. Now we'll get it right, and it sounds like the deal that it is. How about this? $150 for the whole thing. $150. You're talking about just a little over $100 a carat. Wow. All right, next parcel is item 113-1923. 113-1923. And let's look at what we have here. And these are, I have 2 parcels. So there are 2 opportunities. Each one is identical. They are 65 points each, okay? So let me actually raise this up a little bit. So they have 27 pieces in each one. So they're identical parcels. They range in size from 1.3 to 1.8 millimeters. So they make excellent parcel for replacement stones or for use in creating jewelry. You have VS to SI in clarity, so really nice clean goods, and HI in color, so nice fine. Look at that. You can see against the mirror, the white mirror, just how white those are. So basically 2/3 of a carat, 27 pieces in each one. So you're averaging a little bit over 2 points each, and only $88 a parcel. Only $88 a parcel. That brings it, makes it affordable if you didn't need a larger parcel. If you want to take both parcels, take them both. It's only going to be $88 each. So look, add that total weight up. If you took both, then you're at a carat 30 for only $176 in that quality goods. That's a value. Let's look at the last parcel I have. 88 each, yep, $88 each. And this is 113-2023. 113-2023. Since I think, like I said, a lot of you have just realized how inexpensive these are. Go to your diamond source, find out, and compare. That is something I, really want you to do. I don't hide from competition on what I offer here, because as all of you have said, whether it's zeolites or anything else, no one has seen any kind of opportunities as good as I've made them. Here's a half carat parcel. So here is a half carat parcel, and these 22 pieces, they're the same size. They're 1.3 to 1.8 millimeters. It's just a little bit smaller parcel. $77. Only $77. So it gives you a chance, if you didn't need quite so many, and still to get in on them. If you want to take them all, take them all. They're that inexpensive. You could actually resell them. And they're so inexpensive what I'm selling these for. These are nice quality goods that I have broken out from other pieces, and clean them up and offer them for sale. Take a look. This is for my lapidary and gem cutters out there. Wait till you see this. 113-2823. 113-2823. Here is. Now, again, this are items that I wish I had the time to do and have fun with, but because I don't, this is a gem cutters special, or for any of you out there, a specimen parcel. Look at these. Okay, I am going to show you 3 incredible gems, and the only reason these aren't a lot more money is because they have little nicks and chips. So I can't sell them like as new goods, but I can sell them as specimens or for cutting out there. Since my audience, you guys, I have gem cutters. Look at this chrome dioxide. Now this better be a chrome dioxide and not a Zambian emerald or something like that. I'm hoping to include, I hope I know my chrome dioxide enough to know that that's what this is, as opposed to with that color, it would probably be in like a Zambian emerald. Look at that. Okay, so it's a little braided on the surface. That's all that's wrong. I was and along the girdle, which is one of the things that chrome dioxide will wear. That just needs to be cleaned up a little. Now, even to this day, you should have seen the red rubellite I recut. Wow. For the former owner of Gem Shopping. He broke, even him, so he broke his own personal ring and the rubellite in it. And I recut it for him, and stunning rubellite. But anyway, this next stone, look at this. Oh, red zircon. That is a awesome shape being around. And okay, red zircons many times aren't this red. And this is a smaller size. The only reason I'm not asking a lot more money is it's got a little nick on the edge. So you cutters out there, challenge yourself, cut the chip out, round it up, and match whatever you do to all the other sides around it. Look at the brilliance to it. Look at the brilliance. Now, red zircon is a low zircon. In other words, it has a lower refractive index. It's kind of like a green zircon, a lower specific gravity. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stone. Look at that. So that one. Then this is actually a prize. This is old material. Anymore, most all white zircons, genuine white zircons you see, are created by a treatment process. This stone is so old that I'm thinking it might be a genuine old white zircon. I've had it a little decades. Look at this. Now, you'll be easily able to tell and see the double refraction telling you it's a genuine zircon. So when you get it at home and look at it, you'll see that the back facets are doubled. And that's how you know you have a zircon. In other words, the birefringence is so great, like in peridot, or also like in titanite, which is phene, that you can easily see the doubling of the facets, and it often kind of creates kind of like a fuzzy look at times to it. But this, it only has a little nick at the edge or something. I don't know. I'm probably just ridiculous and should keep these and take the time and recut them. But I have so many more. I've got some other incredible stones that need to be recut. All right, so this is for you guys out there that wanted something different or special. This certainly is it, because I have not offered this quality in recuts parcel. Or, you know, these, you put a prong over some of these chips and they're perfectly usable for jewelry. Silver jewelry, why not? All right, look at that. Okay, all three stones I have, and your opportunity. This is kind of ridiculous, actually, when I think about it. $48, $16 each. Really? $48. That is a bargain. Needless to say, especially the big white zircons, they actually go for some big money. That color in the chrome diopside and size, and that beautiful red zircon, I know that parcel will sell quite easily. There'll be more future parcels if this one does sell, because I have a lot of other chipstones. I mean, a lot of other nice quality chipstones that are waiting for the master's touch. And yes, you just heard me drop a skull. Let's look at item 1137. Let's see. Yeah. 113-2723. And this is a parcel. I don't know if you call it a parcel. This is a set, maybe, of two rutilated quartz skulls. How cool is that, huh? Drilled. And that means they could be made into drop earrings, run something right through them. They could just be left alone as they are. And look at that. And look at the rutile. This, we've been studying on some rutile, looking at some rutile stuff, huh? The Tanzanite rutile you learned all about. And you probably haven't seen any rutile skulls lately. But You can't say that anymore. I just like the fact that they're drilled because it offers so many other opportunities. You can make dangle earrings, an easy drop pendant, or just keep them like they are, or give them to a gift on Halloween or something to another rock hound. You know, as simple as they might be, a lot of people, unless you're someone like me, weird, won't have a Rutilated skull, and would actually think it's something really cool if they had one. So, for the set of 2, it makes it affordable for you to have them and give away $16. $16 for both. For both. That looks a very Cro-Magnon, man. Now, this has been sitting in front of me this whole time. Let me show you a real beauty. This was one of the best of from, remember, the 4 amazing Pakistani specimens that I bought the whole lot of, right? In other words, everything that was being offered, I said I would take. It's the best way to ever get a deal from the dealers. And that was one of our trivia questions, was to name those 4 minerals. I'm deciding whether I should tell you all 4 or see if you remember them again. Item 1132223. That looks like a lot of 2s. 1132223. This was one of the finest that we considered from the entire lot of Sphalerite. Yep. Look at these. Look at this incredible specimen. Now, let me move these things out of the way. Wow. Look at this. And you're going to see why as soon as I get some of this other stuff out of the way. Gaze at that. Set your eyes upon it for a moment. Because when we look closer, one of the known attributes to Sphalerite from this area is twinning. Crystal twins. And when you look closer, you're going to be able to see many other smaller Sphines that would normally go overlooked. Okay, let me show you. Right here, when you see this V, let me catch the light on this. Here we go. See that V in between right there? That is a twinned crystal. See? Look at that. Look at the other side of that. Wow. That is an amazing Sphene crystal. Look how large that is. Let's look at, that's a beauty. And you have to look at all sides. Wow, that's really, there is another one. Look at how many there are actually of large Sphenes on this piece. Then there's also Klondike, which is, belongs to the chlorite family. So that is all these little beautiful gray reflective pieces. Then you also have calcites. Calcites on this. There is, I haven't exactly figured out these black stripes. Maybe hematite. All right, look at all these other little Sphenes. Let's go in a little closer on this if we can. And this is one of those specimens that there's so much to look at. I'm trying to look at what that is right there. I can see it is a crystal specimen. It almost looks like a dogtooth calcite, which is possible. And if you're wondering, yeah, I'm holding off, wait till you see that. Look at all these. There's another twin there, right here, I think. I'd have to look at that closer. There is several sets of twins throughout these. And then look at how many individual smaller sphenes there are. And when you get it home and look at it with magnification, it's a whole nother world of crystals everywhere. Everywhere. Here is the back side. As we come around the back side, look at this crystal right here. It's huge. This is a beautiful, look at, there we go, giant crystal that is really stands out. It really stands out. So you have calcite, you have albite feldspar, which are the small white crystals, muscovite mica, kalinochlore. So there's a beautiful, beautiful calcite crystal right there. Also, I would check it for fluorescence. This piece for fluorescence. There is other minerals to be discovered on this piece. I just named the basic ones. I actually saw potentially some little garnets. But look at all these other crystals of albite. See here, there's some reddish crystals like that. Some reddish crystals, which I'm thinking are garnets, but still need to be determined. So someone could have a lot of fun with this. A very showy piece. And for only $128. $128. You can't get specimens like these sphenes. This discovery, number of years ago now, the material has filtered into the market to where there's just not that much left available. Okay, I have decided to show and feature one of the finest knives I've ever had. This is item 482 948920. 948920. Let me make sure. 92. I have had this in my personal collection, and it's probably, out of all the knives, except for maybe some of the opal. Okay, it's yeah, I have shown it. So it's 948920. It should be in there. You got it? Great. Okay. This is, out of all the knives, except for maybe some of the Boulder opal ones with the green obsidian, this is one of, and probably be the last item of the show. This is probably, to me, one of my favorites. And one of the finest and most unique pieces of all of them. Look at how large it is, for one thing. Let me pull this up. This, out of the knives that Kelly and his wife made, look at how long. That's amazing. Look at the golden sheen obsidian on that. Isn't that stunning? And look at the hafting. She would dyed her own hafting. Now, this handle is notched. This blade has a notch in it. They fit together, and then she hafts this. This is so sharp that I could shave with it or do anything that you want a knife to do. You could stab, cut, or simply display. And look at the sheen on the other side. This knife, oh wow, is one of a kind and is one of the finest. Now, those of you that have followed me for a number of years know that I have sold I don't know, hundreds of different ones of these. Some have been upwards of $7,000 and $8,000. They were, and all of them I had something to do with. These blades are hand napped by one person. They're either on obsidian, they are pressure napped. So he takes like a little piece of metal or another rock and pushes really hard and flakes this off, starting up here. When he gets to the edge, one mistake and you have ruined the entire blade. These long ones getting to the end, think about that. How does he do that? That is talent. This is American artistry. This is from my own collection. This is stunning. This knife is like no other. Now, I haven't even shown you the handle yet. You know, I'm a drama. Look at the KJ. He didn't even used to sign his work. I said, listen, I could put my initials on there and claim it. Put your initials. So he started signing them because he was so humble. I said, you're a true artist. When people talk about gemstone knives, I've seen gemstone knives be offered on other network situations, and there'll be a regular metal knife and there'll be one little tiny cabochon in the handle or something. This is a true gemstone knife. There'll be nothing like this. Look at the handle. The handle. That is genuine silver. These are from the Ontario well-known silver mines. This handle is diabase and epidote. And that's where you see the little bit of green tint in it. This is, look at that. Look at that. That is a vein of native silver running through that. All of these are. Look at how that silver wraps around with the quartz end. Of course, look at the size of this. He cuts that as if it was a large cabochon. And that's and the polish. To get that kind of polish on this kind of material is amazing. And to plant it with that quartz tip, how classy is that? And then that vein of silver wrapping around in the handle, these additional veins, this feels good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it'll make me a Jack the Ripper or something just by holding it, you know? But it's never been owned by anybody else. So no bad juju in the knife, just good stuff. This actually comes, let me show you, with what they call a Riker mount box. If Kevin manages to keep it in one piece, we love Kevin. Look at this big box. When I give him this, he'll freak out. He's, oh no, because he broke like 2 of these. And I've had them for like years and years, and he never broke a single one. Never, ever. But it gives me something to tease him about. Look at the length of that. And when you think that every bit of this, first you have to buy the quality material, and then second the time, and then especially as a high-end gem cutter that I am, I always think about leaving well enough alone. You want to make something just a little bit better, and sometimes just trying to get it a little bit better, and boom, something goes terribly wrong and the whole piece is shot. So his workmanship is bar none the finest I have ever seen. And the other type of napping is flint napping. That's the kind you're more familiar with. And that's where you take another rock and you hit flint against flint and break it off primitively. This is well calculated. And I watched him do it. It is all simply flaking by hand. That is a masterful job. And it's by, and Kelly and Laurie, several of you have seen them at shows and know them by their work. They don't do the beautiful work that, because I was selling it for them and encouraging them to move up to the high end. I'm willing to sell this. I'm willing to sell it at an amazing opportunity because, again, I have some financial needs, so I am going to offer this at an opportunity, and if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell, and I have it. But you know, if I'm offering this, then I want to sell. I need to sell, and don't feel bad if you buy it. I would love for one of you to take home such an amazing work of art. Price on this, the discounted price, wow. Heartbreaker price, only $588. $588. The only one like it in the world. And I can promise you that there is not another one like it. Native silver, veined handle. You can see the greenish tint to the diabase and the epidote in it. And that super high quality blade. Wow. Wow. Let me see one more thing. What I have said before is you can go in the woods and easily find a set of branches that are dried out that would hold something like this and make it look so natural. Other than that, just a simple stand like that. And there you have it. Only $588. And with that, that'll wrap up the show. I'll be back with the trivia questions in just a moment. All right. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I enjoyed showing. I get a little sentimental about some of these items. As time moved forward, I said and predicted that what is happening would happen. Doesn't happen in every show, but the good stuff has been coming out. And again, cross my heart. This is, well, actually the next show is kind of a numerically memorable one. It will be the 300th show. And for every single show, every item sold and shown has come from my own collection. None of what you have seen for the last 6 years has been purchased during that time. Over 4,000 items sold. And I'm not done yet. And I'm still finding items new all the time. You should see and want the stuff that Raven doesn't want me to sell. But the needs are going to outweigh the wants, the wanna keeps kind of thing. So, will there be some gem silica specimens? We have a agatized coral geode, and I guess it's in the rock garden. It lines, it kind of really two things meet. We have big fossil pieces. We have marble that I collected from the marble mines right up here in Jasper, Georgia, well known for marble. And she was standing out on the sidewalk and she said, "The agatized coral is gone." My heart just sunk. I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Wait, go look. It tends to be hidden by the weeds." And she went and looked, and I was so relieved. The weeds had grown around. I am talking about this big around. It's a geode, basically, almost. This big around, at least, all the way around. And there's an opening about this big into another world. I have never seen anything so amazing, so large, and so impressive. And it's in the yard. I told her, I said, we need to upgrade its status. It needs to be a house rock, especially since when she scared me like that. I said, I don't know who would ever know the value or who would ever get it. We have one neighbor up the road that we suspected, but anyway, just the thought of that was enough to make it become a house rock. But we had enjoyed it being outside. So did a lot of little critters, but we'll clean it up, wash it. It might be for sure. You know, I would still have every item I have, except, you know, when I had started collecting all these, and you know, I never thought I would be 62. And I said, always all along, I never had a savings account. Maybe I should have. I was never like, you know, studious at that, but I sure could make good buys on mineral specimens. If I had to equate my return, even offering these items at the discounts that they are compared to the market, even doing that, I'm coming out better than if I had put my money in a money market, if I had put my money in a CD, if I had done anything else with it. I would not be as well off as now. And since I have this wonderful opportunity to be able to share these beloved specimens with all of you, it makes it worthwhile that I'm just not like donating them to the boys club, or, you know, if I passed, what my son would be left with doing, he wouldn't have any idea. So you're getting the benefit of me having to trim my collection just a little, 4,000 pieces, and I can't tell. I am serious about that. That's kind of bad. And all of a sudden I open something up and I find a Boulder opal box with one of the finest. I remember that fire opal though. I remember I set that aside for myself. I just hadn't found it in a while. But that's okay. That's what's nice about having an extensive collection, is it's always there, and it's always there to be looked at, enjoyed, and things are rotated and moved around, and I am absorbed with it every day in one form or another. It may not be the same rocks, but there are others I get to enjoy. When I found that fire agate, I looked at that thing probably for at least 30 minutes, just enjoying it. The energy it was giving me back. I know that probably every one of you out there know exactly what I'm talking about. That thrill, that sense of Mother Earth, knowing that this is natural, this isn't a man-made item. All someone maybe did was like cabochon the material to bring out the beauty that's already inside of it. No, ladies, it's not like going to the hairdresser and well, maybe it is, bringing out the beauty in the woman by, you know, going to a hairdresser, just like going to a lapidary and getting a stone cut, you know. But the amazing specimens that are come out of the ground and never have anything done to it, those crystal specimens like that, when I knew that Mother Earth produced such beautiful things at the age of 11 like that, I was hooked for life. And I think so much of my joy, which has been difficult lately to have any, but what I do get is this moment, these couple of hours with all of you, and sharing my passion with all of you. I just wanted to say that in case I never got the chance to, for any reason again. Okay. Yeah. So, I'm excited to get to bring you some items that I wouldn't normally even be selling. And I think you're excited to get to see them. But if I'm showing them, it's okay to buy them. I just saw some things that weren't bought. I have more Japanese garnets you guys didn't get. I couldn't believe some of the things that didn't sell. So, kind of shocked. But anyway, maybe I'll sell them. Maybe I'll offer them again. Maybe not. All right. Anyway, here we go. Ready? you can watch the show as many times as you want, take all the notes you want, but when it comes to trivia, like now, turn it off or go back and watch it again. Because once you hear the question, no rewinding. And, you know, there is no wrong answer. I love when you just give it a shot, you know? Right, wrong, I mean, my goodness, I certainly don't know nearly everything, and I think I'm forgetting a lot of what I did know. But it's fun. It's fun to learn. And I'm trying to make it that way. And I try to give you incentive. And and if you don't want to participate in the trivia, just write in a comment anyway. Share a moment. Tell a story. Tell a Rockhound story. You know, just like Charles falling in the creek. You know, we all like to hear those kind of events, good, bad, or ugly. If it has anything to do with rocks, we want to hear it. Okay, here we go. Ready, set? Question number 1. How many facets? And, you know, the word facet, easy to associate with face or faces. So, you know, I was going to say when I showed that parcel of 3 stones that need to be recut. The hardest thing there is to do in faceting is to recut someone else's work. To cut from a piece of rough is easy. You create your own angles, your own facets, your own design. But when you have to go back in to cut out a little nick or polish a chip out, something like that, you have to go back having no idea the indexing or the angle someone else did that at. And that is some of the laborious, time-consuming, and hardest faceting there is. But it pays well, or at least you need to charge enough, especially on the harder stones, the rarer stones. Definitely charge, because not many people can do recutting. A lot of people can facet from rough, but to go back in, and those 3 stones, whoever gets those, let me know. And let me know your successes. Oftentimes you don't have to recut the whole stone. You just cut the one facet out and then make it match by symmetrically doing the other places. Be creative without having to go and recut the whole thing, losing a lot of weight. Anyway, how many facets? That means each individual face. Does a full cut diamond have? And, you know, that number is the same number whether it is a Tolkowski cut or whether it is a Hearts and Arrow cut or whether it is a ideal cut. It just, that all has to do with the angles, but it still has the same number unless they facet the girdle. That's the part that goes around the stone. If you put those little polished facets, really great. I love when they do that. Those don't count as part of the total of a round American brilliant cut diamond. How many facets does it have? On a round cut smaller diamond that we call when they don't have all the facets a full cut diamond has, we call it a single cut diamond. This is part B of the same question. How many facets does a single cut diamond have? Okay, and I explained the differences, so we won't go back over those again, but that's part of just like listening to the whole show, not knowing what the question's going to be, and remembering. All right, so how many facets does a full cut diamond have? How many facets does a single cut diamond have? Question number 2. Sphene is actually a less commonly used name for the name of what mineral? That sounded maybe difficult to follow. What is the other name that sphene is known as? And the other name is an actually more accepted name in the trade than we know it as sphene. Sphene has probably been used more for television sales, but in the mineral world, it goes by another name. What is the other name for sphene? Okay, so that's it. I hope all of you have enjoyed the show. I know I have. I hope you're having a great, great Labor Day. Happy Labor Day to all of you, and hope you're not laboring and enjoying the official end of, no, the unofficial end of summer. And we hope the heat breaks. I hope those of you, if any of you are in the areas where the hurricane passed through, I hope everything works out for you, and hope your power is on. I certainly know in the South, when you don't have electricity and you don't have your AC, it's a rough go of it. So I think we're all looking forward to fall. All right, take care, all of you. May God bless all of you with your needs and with fellowship and love for one another, and for a continued passion of rocks, minerals, gems, fossils, and jewelry. Rock on. Take care, all of you. See you next Monday.